I started working at the abortion clinic where I had my own abortion.
I didn't have any money. She says, would you like to volunteer at the office and make a couple dollars?
I need the money. I said, I'm in the medical field and I'm here to help women with whatever choice they make.
I had to separate myself from the reality of it. I had to tell myself I'm helping women.
I understand what these women are going through. I can help them understand that they're not alone.
I just wanted to be good at my job.
I just felt as though he needed me, and I could not let him down.
Sometimes we don't see. It takes for a person, you know how they say, I'm just on the outside looking in.
I saw arms, I saw legs. Wow, this is a baby. That's what made me walk out.
Oh, God. That's the sound of the abortion.
Break my heart, though you can use me.
When we were little, we'd sit under the oak tree and we'd talk about going to nursing school.
I wanted to be an entertainer so bad.
We pray for each other. We lift each other up. It's a beautiful, beautiful gift.
We've all participated in something evil, but we've all chose light instead of darkness.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for joining this urgent update from the Southwest Coalition for Life. A few things that we want to announce and highlight. First of all, the trailer that you just now saw. Is for a short documentary called She Was Stronger. This was a documentary that was highlighted and screened multiple times throughout a couple days during the March for Life just a couple months ago. And it's from And Then There Were None from Abby Johnson's organization, highlighting former abortion workers. And we've just received some special permission to screen this documentary as part of our 40 Days for Life closing event, which is going to be happening on Sunday, April 2nd at 6 p.m. at Westside Community Church near the Santa Teresa Vigil location. And so this is just a one-time event, one-time screening, free screening for everybody to see. We're took us a little while to get that coordinated, but we're really excited to be showing that to you. So if you haven't made plans yet for that evening of Palm Sunday at 6 p.m., we're going to be closing out that final hour of the vigil together in prayer and with that special screening. So please spread the word and join. That being said, there's also other events happening around the state. And in fact, right now in Albuquerque, there's the new Alamo abortion clinic that just recently opened there that moved from San Antonio. And so I'm going to bring on a couple of guests who are up there in Albuquerque right now and talk about some events that they've got going on and some good news. We've got Mr. Mike Seibel and a good friend, Bud, who I believe has come down to spend some time in New Mexico. What's going on in Albuquerque these days? Go ahead, Bud.
Okay. Excuse me. I'm about to lose my voice. I'm sorry. We're at the Alamo facility, as you said. They're the newest, opened up last fall, I believe. They come from San Antonio, and it's just all these girls from Texas are coming in. We've talked to a couple ladies this morning. Some of them paid their own way here. Some of them received funds from outside organizations. But we are just here offering them. We're doing a 40-day life on Montgomery, the main street in front, just trying to raise awareness that is going on in this community. But also we're doing sidewalk in front of the facility itself, trying to reach the girls. They've been busy last couple of days, probably 15 girls or so yesterday, and about 10 or 12 girls today so far. And so they are, and only one I've met from Albuquerque. The rest of them are all coming in from Texas. And so we're just trying to reach them one last time. I've talked to a couple of girls today. One of them had already taken the first abortion pill, so I gave her information about abortion pill reversal, a local number they can call, and the international number, that it's not too late. And so we're reaching some, but they're very busy.
Yeah, and thank you for doing that. And Mike, you were muted earlier, but I wanted to let you kind of introduce Bud and why he's come down. I knew he was he's a very humble man, but I've been really amazed by what you guys are doing up there.
Bud's a great man. He sits on our board of directors for Abortion on Trial. I can't believe he's coming out here. He's helping Dominique. He's all the way from Texarkana, Texas. And, he was at that Shreveport clinic for a long time on the ground with Chris Davis and other people. Mark Lee Dixon was out there for a while. So, to have this experience and wealth of knowledge coming out here to help us, wow, we can't ask for any more when people come from out of state to help us here in New Mexico, especially getting some attention to that clinic. I was out there this morning with Bud for a little bit and Dominique and the people were really nice out there. Bud, you can kind of tell me about the neighbors in this situation, but it's not like downtown. I urge people to get out there because the Northeast Heights is a whole different place than downtown Albuquerque.
Yeah. And now, Bud, you just had you mentioned a few turnaways, and you mentioned beforehand there was even just one in particular from this morning. Was that right?
One this morning, another lady was speaking to her, and I think she was there for an implant, but she left. I don't know if they don't do those here or whatever, but she did receive our information and she did leave, and so that's one turnaround there. We just, I was, like Mike said, I was at the Shreveport facility, and then when Roe was overturned, it closed down, and my heart just goes out to New Mexicans because you guys are just getting hammered with the abortion industry, and so, I wanted to come out here. The Lord has opened up doors for me to come out about once a month, and I wanted to find someplace, one facility, and just, I'm kind of using this angle, Texans helping Texans type thing. I'll see their Texas plate, or I can tell they're from out of town, and I'll use that. Hey, are you from Texas? So am I, and so kind of use that as a conversation. And so we try to raise awareness in this community, and some of the people we have spoken to, especially in the office complex where Alamo is located, some of the workers, they don't want them here. They don't want Alamo here. And some of the people we've talked to that have stopped by. From going down the highway, I've seen us, I had a family stop by yesterday, and they were glad we were here raising awareness because, they're against abortion, and they sure don't want it in their community. And so if we can raise enough awareness and put enough, pressure and exposure on Alamo, then maybe that, something good will come from that.
And I just want to highlight that again, that, a lot of people in Texas feel, there's been questions of, abortion is no longer legal in Texas. Of course, we know that there's still a battle being fought with the abortion pill and things like that. But they're coming to New Mexico, and it's important that pro-lifers like Bud follow suit and do whatever they can. We've seen that a lot down, and it's kind of easier for those of us in the El Paso area because it's such a short drive to head over to the Santa Teresa and Las Cruces vigils. People continue to pray, but I'm just so inspired by you making such a trip as often as you can to continue to help and realize that this issue is not solved for Texas until it's solved for the entire country. So, and how Mike, how can people get involved during this week of this vigil that's going on?
They can go out, sign up either through Project Defending Life. Dominique's out there, or just go out to the sidewalk. There's plenty of signs out there. Bud's, out there counseling women. We need people out on Montgomery saying, hey, there is an abortion clinic in your neighborhood. We need them to step up and say, not in my backyard. I mean, abortion is very, very local. We all look at it as, Roe versus Wade and national. Frankly, we don't want abortion in our neighborhoods. And we need to escort Alamo right out of the Northeast Heights and out of New Mexico. So let's get a whole bunch of people out all day long. I think it's 7 to you're going to be out there from 7 in the morning till 6 at night, Bud. Is that correct?
To 5 or 6. I'm trying to get the office workers when they come to work and go home, trying to get the crowd on Montgomery when they go to work and go to school. And when they come back home, I want them to see a smiling face, such as it is. And, I want us to set the tone that these people standing against abortion, we love people, we're friendly, we want to help, and we're here to help.
And then you've got another event coming up next week on Good Friday. Is that right?
I believe there's a Jericho walk at the Planned Parenthood facility there next to Project Defending Life. Dominique can certainly give you more information about that, but that is planned for Friday.
Nice. Okay. Very good. So I wanted to make sure. And then Mike, I talked to you briefly last week, and there was an interesting story about someone who came in from Texas, I believe 35 weeks pregnant or something. What was that situation?
So over at Curtis Boyd's, we saw, if you paid attention to the Sunday paper, Curtis Boyd and Southwest Women's Options have closed their third trimester practice here. It was not due to Carmen Landau passing away. They said it was for other reasons. Abortion on trial, we believe it's because of our actions. But what happened last week is a woman came in from Texas, 35 weeks pregnant, went into the clinic, and they said, we don't do those anymore. Sorry, you're going to either have to go to Colorado or Washington, D.C. And she was obviously mad, but they got in touch with some of the sidewalk advocates who put her in touch with adoption agencies in Texas. So saving somebody 35-week pregnant, without even having to do anything, and contacting them because we have shut down that third trimester abortion practice is just, an entirely great gift for God during this Lenten season.
That is amazing. Praise be to God. And on that note, we're seeing now lives being saved by the vigils that are happening on the sidewalk, Bud being out there reaching out, the legal action that's being taken in spite of all their best efforts to protect abortion from the state and the state legislator. But even in light of some of that they've been trying recently, I know, Mike, you mentioned recently that some people can help if they're in a situation where their conscience rights may be in question.
So yes, we're exploring a lawsuit here in the near future for conscious rights under HB 7, whether it be gender affirming care or abortion care, and we're looking for either teachers or professionals who are working for a state agency or a state hospital. They have to be kind of nuanced because HB 7 only applies to public bodies. So, teachers, that are paid for by an independent school district anywhere out throughout the state, I urge them to contact Abortion on Trial. We are exploring with some of the national law firms in this situation in order to see if we can bring a conscious right lawsuit. Because recently, I don't know if anybody knows this, but we had a great victory on the assisted suicide front here in New Mexico. Is, ADF, Mark Lippelman, one of their attorneys from Arizona, filed a lawsuit here in New Mexico on conscience rights. The legislator responded by granting physicians conscience rights, which we were fighting for in 21, and we couldn't get. Well, the Democrats, in order to avoid the lawsuit, passed a law for conscience rights for medical professionals who oppose assisted suicide. So that will go into effect when the governor signs it. It was a great win for the pro-life community on the end of life side, which nobody really understood. But I think we could do the same thing with HB 7, SB 13. If they become law, well, HB 7 is going to become law. SB 13.
Nope. Looks like we lost Mike there and just dropped out. But, there you are.
So I think this will be an incredible opportunity for teachers and other healthcare professionals that are at state-run agencies to get involved in a lawsuit and maybe upset these HB 7 and SB 13 laws that were enacted, making their legislature and legislative efforts completely useless. So that's my hope.
Thank you, Mike. And we'll definitely spread the word, and everybody watching to spread that word. If you know anyone who's a teacher in those situations and they may have a conscience rights case to discuss with Abortion on Trial, just to explore that. So, but that's why I've said, in light of everything we've just seen over that past session that just ended, we know that God's got this, and that there's so many ways that this issue is being tackled, just like Bud being out there on the sidewalk, even coming from so many hours away from another state, taking legal action and legal support. And we know that with God, all things are possible. So, gentlemen, thank you very much for jumping on short notice. And we'll all be continuing to pray until we see where all womanhood and life is respected. So God bless you both. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
God bless.
God bless. Okay, folks, one last reminder, if you're in the southern part of the state, is that our local 40 Days for Life closing once again will be on Palm Sunday, April 2nd, to close out that final hour of the vigil together at near that Santa Teresa Vigil at Westside Community Church, where we'll be showing that special screening that we got permission to show of the documentary called She Was Stronger, that we showed the trailer earlier when we opened this webcast. So hopefully we'll see you there. And God bless. And thank you all for your prayers and support.